All right, what's happening, Cryptosomniacs? We are here live. Welcome to the first episode of Trader Talk. We have got basically our entire TA staff on live now. So I know you guys come on and are familiar with me on the channel. You may be familiar with Amal up in the top left corner. I don't know. You might have seen one video from James. And if you are a member of the Moon Lounge community, you will definitely be familiar with Jordan and obviously the illustrious Snay. So anyway, guys, we all just wanted to come on tonight, do a little crypto talk, just talk about the state of the market, and you know, kind of give an opinion from traders' perspective. So you guys want to give a little background info on yourselves?
Yeah, let's start from the top left, Amal. Oh, you're muted.
Can you guys hear me now?
There we go.
Yep.
Awesome. Yeah, my name is Amal. I've been part of the Cryptosomniac team for about 7 or 8 months now. It's been going really well. I really like doing technical analysis. I've actually been trading in the equity markets and investing since 2007, I want to say. Late 2007, actually. And as you guys know my story, basically going into my dad's account and spending his money, making up for that by, learning how to actually trade and then making that money back and then, paying for my drinking through college. So that was, essentially my start. And then I, honestly got into cryptocurrencies, probably late 2016, early 2017. But I'd only heard about Bitcoin through college. I took one cryptography class, but I wish I invested back in the day, and I didn't, so I deeply regret it. But, I'm in it for the long run, and I really love this space, and I truly think that it's something unique. And I hope to, learn and, teach on the way.
Right on. Very good. Then I guess we'll just go clockwise. James, you want to go next?
Yeah, so I have several qualifications, financial advisor, among other things, and always been an entrepreneur and have a few businesses. At the moment, CEO of DigiChain Capital, which offers blockchain and investment services, full spectrum services from marketing to OTC and tech development. I've been in crypto since last year. I was attracted by the volatility, but addicted now. I love it.
Where are you from, James?
I see the big picture and I see how blockchain can help certain sectors of the world in particularly. And that's me.
Yeah, James, you're from Mexico, right? No, he's obviously Australian. Yeah, obviously he sounds Australian. He is Australian. So yeah, we're a global community here. Amal, where are you located?
Austin, Texas.
Austin, Texas. All right, and I guess we'll go with Jordan now.
All right, how's it going, guys? I'm Jordan. I'm from Buffalo, New York. Started trading stocks, I'd say, late high school, and more investing, trading when I was in college. Did 5 years in the military, came back, just realized I enjoyed the college life, and and I wanted a way to make some extra money, so I started day trading while in college, and that just, like Amal said, sort of paid for your beer and got you by. And I think the military gave me the discipline for the trading aspects. And if you're in the Moon Lounge, you'll realize that no matter what direction Bitcoin's going, I'll always try to throw some trades out there. We're pretty conservative, and I think everyone and all the TAs have saved people some good change. But I try to come up just like everybody else with some good trade ideas. Like I said, from Buffalo, New York. I don't think there's anybody else East Coast that's into like blockchain or Bitcoin. I mentioned it around here.
A ton of it in New York.
Right.
Well, I'm not near the city. I'm complete west of the state, but that's why it's refreshing to meet you guys and hang out with you guys and to do this talk. Finally get to talk to like-minded individuals.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, and actually, I'm not in the Cryptosomniac headquarters right now in Los Angeles. I'm actually in Sacramento with my dev team. Just hashing out some more stuff with Monarch, and I actually see a chat in there. Let's talk XRP. So we have some pretty big announcements coming up with XRP. So keep tuned for that. But let's take it away to the first topic, Jason.
Yeah, so, just a couple of things. I mean, first of all, I just wanted to talk. So we've done a few interviews this week with a couple of different exchanges. I don't know if you guys saw, we put the OK Coin one up, which they've got, that's now, you can trade on there in America with a little bit of leverage. California only right now, but I thought that was pretty cool. And obviously, I know James has quite a lot of experience with BitMEX. So I just wanted to talk about, what's your favorite margin trading exchanges and why? What do you like about them particularly? I'm just excited to be able to have the option at all at this point. So.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, if you do use BitMEX and you're a United States citizen, you want to go through a VPN because they block. I don't know if you guys participated in EOS, but EOS had the similar thing where if you try to contribute to the EOS crowdfund, then they would block any US IP address. So BitMEX does something similar to that, so you definitely want to use a VPN to get around. I'm not condoning it. I'm not supporting the use of a VPN, but it is definitely an option there. Margin trading is a lot of fun, but super risky. So yeah. So and we kind of try to focus on fundamentals and not trying to catch the falling knife, but trying to think long-term logistics and how to trade efficiently and of course structured. So yeah. Right. But yep.
So let's see. We got in the chat. We've got a few people jumping in now. What's up to Peter Magyar, Red 5 Golf Gunny? That's who says, yeah, let's talk XRP. What's happening, Papa Crypto and Tonga? So Ashley Van Stecklenburg, I think I pronounced that correctly, says, let's talk all-time high shorts.
Yeah, so, exactly, yeah. I was going to talk about that after, actually.
And if you shorted the market, like, at 20,000, you would be significantly much richer, especially if you use leverage, than if you caught the bull run, even at like, I don't know, 3,000. Like, I mean, think about it. You open a short, let's just say with $1,000, 5x leverage, and with the same amount of money, all the way down multiple times on these, multiple downtrends, you would be what? I don't even know the math on that. I mean, 5x on a trade like that, you'd be up a lot of fucking money.
Yeah. Yeah, seriously.
Speaking about VPNs, that's why it's good to have one, because Amal and I have discussed shorting quite a while ago, and
yeah,
if only I would have had the chutzpah back then.
Yeah, I hear you there, man. That's all the time I'm talking to these other exchange people, and I'm like, man, if I just wish, I was interviewing the people from BBOD last week, and I was like, man, I just wish, I'm so excited, you can trade ETH and short, and they're like, yeah, not for American citizens though. Yeah. Like outside, like the islands, the American islands and all the territories and everything, fine, but not the United States. I was like, oh man, such a bummer. Yeah. It's like there's just no options for Americans.
But to our resident margin trader, so what do you think, James? What's the best strategy going forward, especially in this climate, this market?
Yeah, well, I'm in Australia, so I don't have those VPN restrictions.
Yeah,
I have free reign on BitMEX, and that's been my preferred exchange. It's just I like it's a little bit more advanced. You have some more options, and the 100x leverage is a beautiful thing. Although I don't recommend it, and no one does.
Terrified of
that. Option is quite powerful. Generally I sit around 10x. And you just got to do your traditional TA and just see how things are setting up and take a short accordingly or a long. I see some interesting things happening right now with the shorts, and they're creeping up to all-time highs. Do you want to do a screenshot now, then?
Yeah. Go ahead and screen share, man.
I got the shorts pulled up too. Man, they are on a wrecking spree. Like, the weekly candle and even today's daily, not even a wick, on the way up. Like it's just a full-bodied candle.
Oof.
Wow.
Yeah, so you can see the line where the shorts were at the all-time high.
Yep.
Either the blue line. We actually see a setup like that. That was the Eve bottom. So we had an Adam and Eve double bottom previously. And over here was the Eve bottom. And you see we've got the similar structure happening now.
Yep.
And we even had a stop loss hunt at the start of the Eve structure. We had the same kind of thing there. And just the other day I was saying we could easily, because the short started reducing a couple of days ago, and now they've pulled right back up near all-time highs. I was saying previously that might happen just for liquidity and to set up a short squeeze.
So do we think the pump from Friday was specifically trying to set up the short squeeze? What are your thoughts on that? Because Friday was like there was no reason for that pump on Friday. Everything went up massive, and like I couldn't find any reason for that.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I think, this could be seen two ways, right? Like, let's just say, if you're a whale, someone who is well-versed with the markets, right? You could essentially put the same setup in this market as it's at right now, and you know that August 23rd, the ProShares ETF is a nice timed, FUD, if you will, right? If it gets, accepted, you push the market up a little bit, a little nudge, open up, actually just pull off your sell walls and let the market just freely move and start opening up longs, or just keep stacking up shorts. And, if the ETF gets rejected, boom, just dump the market, start, selling massive amounts of Bitcoin and tank the price, load up on your shorts and make a shit ton of money.
So let's get back to the basics. Like, so what does that mean? BTC shorts are at an all-time high. What does that actually mean to a consumer that does not know as much as,
Right.
as, for example, like me? What the hell does that mean? What the hell does BTC shorts mean, right?
James, you want to take this, or Jordan, or you want me to?
Well, it's just telling you that the masses or most traders think we're going down, and often that gets played in the reverse. So with this market with a low market cap and often low liquidity, there's often strategies that are used against you to gain that liquidity. So often there'll be a dump, and then people will freak out and start selling because the market's dumping. But then that gives liquidity for big buyers to buy into. And then previously on the Adam and Eve structure here, when the all-time shorts were at an all-time high up here, we had the short squeeze, and that took us up to near 10K. And we also had consensus during that period as well. That fueled the hype. So it was a strategic trading maneuver. Unfortunately, often things like that are artificial get recorrected, and that completely happen.
Lost steam there.
And it just tells you what people are thinking. The shorts are so high, everyone thinks we're going down, and they're priming up for a squeeze. So I thought they were going to have learnt their lesson when we were coming down a couple of days ago, but now we're right back up there setting up for a squeeze. So we'll see.
If what happens if we see a large green candle right now, which is a huge movement upwards? What happens to all the people that have all these short orders?
Well, they're going to get liquidated, and they're going to go long to cover their positions. So they'll be going with the trend upwards.
Yeah. So, I just to add on to what James is saying is, so by the way, Snay, to answer your question, regarding the terminology and everything, right? Shorts are obviously people who are betting that the future price action of Bitcoin is ultimately down, right? They're betting against, the longs essentially, which is the uptrend of the price, and the longs are essentially betting that the price will go up. But as you can clearly see, that the long chart is moving sideways right there on James's chart. Oh, crap, he closed out of it.
Oh, yeah, I can pull it back up here.
Oh, okay.
There we go. Whoop, nope. Somebody closed the full page.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
It's all good. I can pull up my chart if necessary.
Yeah. Why don't you share
full screen? So if you just
back.
Okay. So let me. So this is okay. Oh, here he is, right there. He has his chart pulled up. Okay, cool. So as you can see, the shorts are moving, clearly up, right? That's the red chart right there. The longs are just essentially moving sideways. I think the longs are in an indecision, and they're probably playing it safe. And so basically, the shorts are betting on the price going down to tomorrow, the week after, or whatever, right? And now that they're hitting that all-time high, are they going to break through? Well, this is a perfect setup, knowing that August 23rd, you have this ProShares ETF getting approved or rejected by the SEC. So if it gets approved, people will start more than likely going long. And whether it be institutions or big traders, they're going to essentially bet on the price going up. So what they're going to do is they're going to just pull all their sell orders and ensure that the price keeps moving up. So they make profits on people who are now going to have to get liquidated because the price is now pushed up. Let's just say to 6,500, 6,600, 7,000. And for those people to cover their losses in the short positions, they have to buy spot pricing. So they basically have to buy Bitcoin, okay? Or they can also buy the long contracts too.
Right.
So either way, they have to essentially reverse their position because the price has essentially broken through their stop losses, and going short now would just be stupid.
So that's interesting. During the CBOE ETF that was launched, we did not see any sort of long position come out of that. We actually saw, the price. Yeah, we saw the price drop a lot in Bitcoin. So why do you think that the ETF would push the market upwards?
When exactly did that happen? Because I don't recall that happening in the price dumping.
Was it CBOE or CME ETFs that were dumped? Anyways.
No. You're talking about the futures.
The
futures market.
ETF,
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. No ETF. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, so those are all cash settled, right? They have no impact on the market. However, you could look at this two ways, okay? You could say that these people, that the CME and the CBOE knew that Bitcoin futures were going to get approved, okay? And so they bought a shit ton of Bitcoin, maybe at the beginning of last year or 2016 or 15, whenever. And they took the market all the way up to 20,000, okay? And when the futures got approved, they can make significantly more money on their reputable markets on the CME and CBOE because they actually get, the 100x or whatever leverage that is allotted to them, right? Because these are actual, financial instruments that allow them to do so. So what they did is they took the market to 20,000 and started dumping the price and then shorted the market. So why wouldn't you do that? I mean, you make money both ways on the trend.
Yeah.
Yeah, often that happens with the futures. So you can short the future position, but then buy have a lot of Bitcoin as well, and you can dump it accordingly when there's resistance, just to increase your short position and your profits. And we're in a mostly unregulated market, so you have to be aware of certain strategies like that.
And now here comes the tough call here, and probably the worst question anyone will ever ask a technical analyst. What are your predictions? Where do you see it go? Yeah.
I'll let Jordan go first on this one.
All right. Well, up until the dump earlier tonight, I actually had, I think I was on the daily and ascending triangle. So this was for Bitcoin, and it was around, I think, the 24th to 25th. So it was going to be a couple days after the futures or the ETF decision came out. But gotta listen to Amal's analysis on Bitcoin first and foremost. But you know what? I see a lot of the sentiment changing. Before, I thought Bitcoin was going down to 3,000, no doubt. Now I see it trading in such a tight range. When it collapses, it recovers very quickly. When it goes high, it recedes rather quickly. I wouldn't be surprised if the ETF gets pushed off a bit and we tank for a while. That's just my speculation, my guess. I will definitely have my hand on the panic market sell button and also on the Coinbase buy button because when I think shit bottoms out, I'm gonna be buying some stuff.
So let's break it down to basics even more. Why would the ETF pump the price up? Is it because you're not buying the underlying asset Bitcoin, you're just buying an investment vehicle? Is that correct? It just gives more access to Bitcoin. Is that correct?
Is it good to not have direct exposure to the asset? Or do we think that's going to help with mass adoption?
Well,
I don't think this would be mass adoption. I just think we need some kind of bullish change. I mean, it's just basically been like a siege where you haven't been fed or gotten fresh shit paper for the past since December, and you're just waiting for the tide to change. We just need some kind of bullish sentiment.
Agreed.
That's it. The market's fueled by hype, and we need something. We need hope. We need something to get behind. And right now, it's ETFs, and that can bring traditional investors, and in turn, bring new money, and can start us on our way on a bull run. So, I think they're quite important.
Yeah, I'd like to answer Snake's question too, actually. By the way, Jordan. So the ProShares ETF, the one August 23rd, which is 3 days from now, that can't be delayed. That's the final date for the ProShares one. Okay.
So it's either approve or reject.
Right.
Yes, one is a full and final one. Okay. And second part of that question is Snake. Yes, ETFs can be derivatives in a sense that they derive their pricing from the underlying asset. That's exactly what the ProShares ETF is. However, the Van Eck and SolidX ETF, which can be delayed up to 240 days by SEC regulations, which marks the date to March 4th, 2019, that one actually trades actual Bitcoin, by the way. Okay? So these two are completely different ETFs. And by the way, there's 8 to 10 on the board for the SEC to approve or reject starting literally August 23rd all the way into 2019. So any of these could be operated in different, investment vehicles.
Wow. Okay. Wow. So that's a lot to digest, but essentially it increases exposure because people, more traditional investors could buy this ETF and have exposure in their portfolio with cryptocurrency, essentially, right?
Yeah.
It's a good, I guess if nothing else, it's kind of the gateway drug for it, because if at least they're trying to add it to their portfolio, even if they haven't fully bought in and understand about, the personal responsibility of handling your own private keys, et cetera, I suppose it is good. At least they're willing to put a portion of their assets into the market, which I think is, it's a step in the right direction.
The thing is, right, guys, like an ETF gives substantial credibility to an asset or an asset class, right? Why? Because getting an approval from the SEC is like, getting the fucking stamp from God, especially the SEC which is, from America, right? If it was from, fucking China, like it wouldn't matter.
Right.
But everyone looks to America as, the beacon of hope when it comes to, investments. And they know that, okay, if the SEC has vetted this particular asset, the rest of the world will follow. Absolutely, not even a question, right? So if we look at the SEC approving the ETF, that means that institutions will feel more comfortable to put their clients' money, their retirement funds, their 401ks, all kinds of crazy amounts of money into something like the cryptocurrency asset class. And, I actually did a PowerPoint presentation on this. If you look at the entire holding of the stock market and its value, it's somewhere around like a couple of $1 trillion, okay? And this is like all over the world. The entire gold market is about 800 billion, close to $1 trillion. The entire derivatives market, however, is $1,400 trillion.
How does that even happen?
Because a derivative, you literally just bet on anything that's going to move up or down.
This
you don't
is
even
how we create bubbles.
Yeah, that's exactly what the derivative market is.
Yeah.
But that's why there's a shit ton of money in it. And so you pull, let's just say, I don't know, like 5% from each of those markets, you're already up in the trillions, in your crypto asset market. So like getting an ETF approved is probably going to be massive when it comes to giving credibility to the crypto space. That's really it.
Do you foresee any potential dangers as a result of it, right? Because like effectively, so the futures came out, and if they, if whales wanted to, they could have just shorted the market right on down to zero and just walked away and said, "Great, we did our job. Let's get back to regular finance." Do you see any risk like that from an ETF coming into the market?
No, the thing is like, think about it as like a big investor, right? You know that the average investor's appetite is still pretty high, especially given the fact that this is a global market which has barely touched maybe 5% of the world's population.
Sure.
Right? Barely, right? Their ceiling for profitability is much higher to go long on this market, to push the prices up higher. And every time they push it for a new cycle up, they'll just short it on the way down. Right? Why would you want to kill an asset to zero when you can keep making money off of it by keep on pushing it up? Because people will still eat it up. It's like the I forget which economist or book it was. It's the greater fool theory.
Yeah.
Right? I'm saying like people who own crypto or Bitcoin are fools. I'm saying that the next wave of people will always be willing to pay more than the previous wave. Right, that's just how basic investing works.
True, but that sort of leads to the accusations of being a Ponzi scheme. If ultimately its only value is that the greater fool will pay more for it later, which not that's my
like
perspective.
The basis of the stock market, though.
That's true. All right, that's fair.
I mean, think about it. Like if I know that Apple shares are going to go higher next year, and then I sell it to the next, sucker, if you will, for 175. I mean, yeah, that in and of itself is the greater fool theory at work. That's the entire premise of the stock market.
That's true.
So I just want to interject here. If you guys do like this content, smash that thumbs up button. Leave a comment if you wanted to see something different, or you're just like you hate it, or you love it. Whatever you want, just leave a comment and tell us what you think about this if you want to see more. And I wanted to also ask, we talked about futures, we talked about ETFs. What about, for example, we have a comment in here, the Coinbase Index Fund.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? What do you guys think about how that's going to impact the market? You think it's going to be good, or you think it's going to actually help gain a little bit more exposure and not really have to think, hey, I want to buy Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, and you don't have to actually buy those underlying
access to the crypto market, but I don't want to deal with tracking all these trades.
Right. Or even something as simple as private keys and exchange hackings and how to store it, on a cold wallet or anything like that. Do you think that's going to help these index funds, or do you think it's going to ultimately drive the price down?
I'll let James Jordan answer that.
Yeah.
I think it's great. I mean, like you mentioned, the private keys. I mean, I was trying to talk to my dad the other day, and I said, "Dad, you should buy some Ethereum." And he was basically like, "Well, how the frick do I do that?" And to get a person who isn't comfortable with technology, to get them onto Coinbase, to get them, either an account, a JSTOR, or on a thumb drive, or to use my Ether wallet. This will just be so much easier. I think it'll expose so many more people to the space. And then I definitely think it's a positive step.
I totally agree. James?
Yeah, I completely agree. It's just, we need mass adoption, and it's simply a step forward. Some people think it's silly how we the process we go through to buy and store crypto, and it's just simply a step in the right direction.
Those are the same kind of people that are like, I hear all the time about like, oh, Canadians don't lock their doors or whatever. That's great. I would love to live in a neighborhood that's nice enough that I don't have to lock my doors, but I'm still going to lock my doors at night because it's just a simple precautionary step I can take to not get, it's just like you don't walk around with your ATM pin tattooed on your forehead. Like
that's true.
I just
like
think it's
stop loss.
Yeah, exactly.
let me show Monarch here, and Monarch is live to download, and you can download it right now, and you could store all your cryptocurrencies safely in a software wallet.
It is true. It's actually really. It's actually while we're on the subject. Like, look at this. This wallet is super sexy. Look at this.
But what do you also, as Coinbase is adding more fiat pairings, for example, Ethereum Classic, and I believe, Jason, what is it called? Is it called
on Coinbase? Well, they've got rumors of
0x,
listing.
right?
Yeah, they've
0x.
got rumors of listing Basic Attention Token, Zero Exchange, Cardano. Man, there was like 2 or 3 more, but those were the ones I've been watching. Was just those, and they definitely got a little pump off of the rumor and have done okay as far as trading in the recent term. But I don't know. We'll see. I mean, it's ultimately, I think it's really going to depend on whether or not they do release, say that they're just going to accept all ERC20 tokens. And then also, I think I personally think that the whole reason that they're getting the Zero Exchange is so that they can launch a DEX. That's what I think, and I think they're going to use that token to power it.
Yeah, I think they're going to try to launch DEX.
That's a good point.
Yeah, but would they try to build it themselves? Like Amazon acquires and rebuilds, right? Google acquires and rebuilds. Facebook acquired WhatsApp and then rebuilds. Or do you think they're going to just acquire it and then trade it? So do you
I think that they're gonna. I think that they're probably just going to buy it, poach the code, and make it part of. I don't know if it'll be Coinbase Pro DEX or what, but that's my feeling on it. Is they'll probably just eat the parts of the code out that they want and launch it. Because I mean, if Zero Exchange is already built and operable, then all they've got to do is make the tweaks. I think.
Yeah.
For sure.
If Coinbase was like a token or an ownable asset, public company or something, I would definitely invest in that, because man, those people, they're really smart and they really know how to get people to psychologically FOMO. Like, they're really brilliant people.
Yeah, they can get away with murder too.
So while we're on that subject, what are you guys' thoughts? Like, I was reading an article. Coinbase's volume is down 83% since January. So let's talk about that.
But didn't they just add like 50,000 users?
That's what they say. But adding user base, but you can sign up as many users as you want, but if they're not trading, it doesn't really matter, right? So
check it out. Coinbase last year was adding 50,000 users per day.
Yeah,
during the
right?
pump.
So and even if you look at just from a marketing perspective, and you're looking at Google search results or anything like that, you'll see Bitcoin is, it's not talked about as much as it was in 2017. That's just a sad reality of things.
Yeah.
Holidays, I feel like it's always good because, you see your family, you talk to your family, hey, you heard about Bitcoin, XYZ, and people start to FOMO in. That's Q4, especially during the summertime where everyone's taking a vacation, all these family offices, all these hedge funds, all these funds are just taking vacations because July and August. My brother-in-law is a trader, right, on Wall Street, and the only vacation time they have is the summertime. So Q4 is historically strong when it comes to the traditional market and even crypto.
Well, even look at the charts. I mean, just look at the charts for the last few years. Generally, it makes a little parabola towards the end of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of people like to onboard in their local fiat currency. So I know for a fact people over here in Australia want to onboard with Australian dollars. So they're not using Coinbase. They're using, and there's exchanges all around the world in all these countries, and people are generally onboarding through them initially. So that's.
I've been saying more fiat pairs is good, and it makes exactly what you're saying. That makes perfect sense. Like, why would an Australian want to go convert to U.S. dollars to then buy Bitcoin with it?
All right, so let me ask this question. All right, why is it? This is supposed to be a borderless currency, completely decentralized. We all know everything about Bitcoin. It's great, but why is it so much more significantly expensive in Korea? Why is Korea just trading at such a premium compared to the rest of the world?
Is it like a Great Firewall of China type situation where they've just got? You know,
You know what? I
there's
was
state
reading an article,
organizations.
earlier today saying that it's such a craze that they were I was actually my buddy who was telling me that I had a crypto addiction sent me an article on crypto addictions and how a lot of the Koreans just got caught up in the FUD. Or, I'm sorry, in the FOMO, and the vast majority of them don't know the fundamentals about cryptocurrency. They just know their neighbor, their barber, their best friends doing it, so they do it. And they had a guy who took out $100,000 loan end of February, and obviously he's paying that back.
Oh, yeah. I have that article pulled up right now. I was reading it.
Yeah, I believe it. What was it? New York Times?
I got it on CNBC actually.
That is brutal.
No.
CNBC, yeah.
$100,000 loan. Yeah, I know what you're talking about, Jordan. Kim Yong Jong.
Yeah, my buddy sent me that one saying, "Bro, calm down a bit."
Yeah.
Other countries don't like to onboard in a different currency or in a different language, so it becomes a supply and demand within that country. So that's what Korea faced.
Well, there's a lot of different Korean exchanges coming out now. Like,
There's a ton of Korean and Indian ones that pay. If anybody has a Korean, well, DM me if you have an Indian PAN number or an Indian ID or an Indian passport or a Korean.
Hey, yeah, you're looking at OCI right here, dude.
Hey.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's actually interesting about Korea, because to play a video game online in Korea, to join the servers, you need a Korean identification number. Like, for example, if you wanted to play League of Legends or World of Warcraft in Korea, or even StarCraft, you have to register your ID, because their culture is heavily into gaming. Everybody knows that. The best gamers in the world are Korean. And there's such a craze there that everything requires identification, just to make sure that, I don't know, quote unquote, the society is pure, where it's just Koreans playing in Korean servers. So it's pretty interesting. There's a whole different dynamic. I could see Korea. I was kind of confused why Japan didn't jump on this Bitcoin hype train, considering the name Satoshi Nakamoto is Japanese. But it's really Korea taking the charge. And from what I've been hearing is a lot of the Chinese money is being funneled into Korea.
Yeah, that's what I hear as well.
Yeah, is that correct? Have you guys been hearing the same thing?
Yeah, something like that. But yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because I don't know if you guys know. I mean, there's as a Chinese national citizen, there's like only a certain amount that you're allowed to own before the government, like property-wise, before the government says no more. So at a certain point, these companies have so much money, and they're like, well, we're trying to spend down for tax and budget, but we can't buy anything in America. What else are we going to spend this asset on? Or I'm sorry, we can't buy anything in China. So they'll come out and start buying up hotels and Bitcoin, apparently. So
like me and Jason Jason and I live in Los Angeles. Now, if you go an hour south of North Los Angeles, you hit Orange County. And if you go to any of these neighborhoods, some of these neighborhoods are 100% foreign Chinese owned. I'm talking about multi-million-dollar houses, because it's illegal to buy property in China. So if you and even if you look at Vancouver, or anywhere in British Columbia, you'll see a lot of Chinese money come in and actually buy real assets, right? Without the fear of just holding it in fiat or any sort of deflationary currency like that. So it's definitely interesting to see, especially Asians in general. I think they own like 60-70% of the volume of cryptocurrency. So
China owns a massive portion of, and a lot of the mining is done in Bitcoin, or Bitcoin mining is done in China as well.
Exactly. Antpool, Bitmain. I love that Bitmain is just continuing to buy up all this Bitcoin Cash, because I don't see Bitcoin Cash really having a big future. What do you guys think about Bitcoin Cash? Let me ask you that question. What do you all think about Bitcoin Cash? I want all of you to answer.
I oscillate. I oscillate back and forth. So, I mean, on the one side, I'm like, all right, I hear Roger Ver talk, and sometimes I'm like, and then I try to get past him and just listen to what he's saying. And some of what he says, I'm like, yeah, okay, that does make sense. As far as it's supposed to be peer-to-peer. It's not supposed to be a store of value. It's supposed to be a peer-to-peer cash and da-da-da. And I'm like, well, that is what the white paper says. But ultimately, I mean, I guess my real feeling on Bitcoin Cash can be summed up this easily. I've never bought any, ever. And I do hold some. And the sum that I held was exactly the amount of Bitcoin that I held before the fork. And it's just sitting in a wallet. And if I would have been smart, I would have sold it at the high. But I didn't. So that's my feeling on Bitcoin Cash. But I think right now it's just eating up market share from Bitcoin is my opinion on it.
I agree with the dog. Yeah,
it's like any movie. The sequel is never as good.
Yeah, except Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
It's the one time.
I guess that's every rule.
That's true. What do you guys think about Ripple? Obviously you don't actually need Ripple for those interledger exchanges. I think the actual protocol is called XRapid, or Ripple's protocol. What do you guys think about that? Do you see Ripple having any use case, or do you see yourself buying any Ripple at this time, or what are these coins that you're looking at to scoop up early, young? Obviously we could talk about Bitcoin and Ethereum all day, but what are you guys seeing right now?
Well,
I think I rode the Ripple train as much as I'm going to back in the day with the Coinbase rumors. I don't plan on buying any more other than if I love pattern trading, so if it's in a falling wedge, then I'll buy some. But other than that, I don't plan on holding any.
Yeah,
really?
Same.
Okay, really? You don't plan on holding any Ripple?
You know what? I will say, sentiment. I've seen a lot of articles on positive news on Ripple, but I mean, I'll look at the I like smaller circulating supplies and total supplies, but I won't be a long-term probably holder in Ripple.
That's the problem is they can just keep printing more of it whenever they want.
Well, the thing is when the market picks up. When the market picks up and we have a bull run, and the media start covering crypto and Bitcoin again, the new money coming in are going to buy Ripple. So that's the thing to be aware of. Yeah, Ripple doesn't have a real use case, but it's going to get bought up when new money comes in.
Yeah.
Same reason people still buy Doge, even though nobody works on it. It's just because it's cheap. And and I think with Ripple, it's going to be name recognition. That's back earlier this year, even just talking to a number of traditional professionals, we'll say, and they were all like, they were like, "Oh, you're into that crypto thing? What do you like?" First thing they would ask me, "What do you think of Ripple?" And I'm like, "Oh, they have a good marketing campaign for that's it."
They got rid of the name Ripple. I don't know if you guys saw that. They rebranded themselves. They're now just XRP. Yeah. So they're no longer like to be called Ripple, which doesn't make any sense. But whatever.
Changed their ticker and everything, or I mean, it's still XRP, but like the icon and everything, it's like full rebrand, huh?
Yeah, I would probably. I think I agree with James on this one and Jason, because the average intellect of an individual who is just FOMOing into the market is looking for like the cheapest, most heard of name that people are talking about on the news or their cousin has mentioned at Thanksgiving. And that's probably going to be more than likely in the top 5, Ripple, right? I mean, think about it. Like, what do we have in the top 5? We have Bitcoin, which is like $6,000. Ethereum, which is like $300 right now. Yeah. Ripple is at 35 cents or something.
Yeah. It's one of those. The same thing as Litecoin, right? That was like just in the big bull run last year. People got on Coinbase and they were like, Bitcoin too much. Ethereum missed the bus. Oh, this Litecoin's cheap. I'll just load up on that.
Yeah, exactly. Like people don't look at, they don't know the basic difference between like circulating supply and, how much of, if I buy 100,000 coins, what percentage share do I actually own versus if I buy, like 2 Bitcoin, what percentage share do I then have, right? Like if you put $12,000 to work in Bitcoin versus 12,000 in Ripple, the percentage share is significantly lower in Ripple, more than likely, right?
Yeah.
I don't think people understand how to invest properly, and that's what's going to happen again in the next bull run, right? And it's just going to keep happening until, at some point the market just tanks, and then 99% of cryptocurrencies die, and only the few emerge, like they did from the internet era.
So we have a comment, and while we're talking about massive supplies like Ripple and Stellar and all of those, the Growth Hack asked about Tron. What do you guys think about Tron? Is that Justin's son pumping it to the moon?
You got your tattoo yet, Jordan?
So I am actively looking at a bot that shorts Tron right now.
Oh my God, yes.
Wow, really? Because they have this virtual machine that's backwards and forwards compatible with Ethereum. So they just launched it. They just launched it like literally 2-3 days ago. I do love the. I know, and I don't know anything, to tell you the truth, but no one knows what the future is going to hold. But I think that Ethereum is kind of the staple right now, right, for dApp development.
Yep.
So I do love all these sidechain solutions and to make Ethereum faster. And God knows when Casper is actually going to be launched. If Vitalik's even working on it.
He put some tweet storm out. I think it was either today or yesterday, talking about the status of Casper. If you have time to go through Twitter and read it, but
all I know is Casper is a spooky ghost, and that's all I know, and that's as much faith as I have in it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But I have high hopes for Tron. I'm constantly buying some at really low prices. It's great to swing trade, but. We also have another comment about Jordan. Your ontology and Zilliqa calls are on point.
Oh, those are fire, dude.
Oh, yeah.
What I saw? Like I said, I love the patterns, and I think it was the aunt was in the falling wedge on the daily, and I was playing arbitrage the last time aunt pumped, and I was just like, and I literally sold all my coins, and then it took off, and then it just kept going and going and going, and so playing arbitrage, trying to get a few coins here and there. I missed out on a massive pump, so I was just like, I'm not messing around with this one. I'm just buying in. And, I just got lucky with that one. And then, Aunt Zilliqa and I think Bet are going to be doing pretty well.
Right, and just to dissert to all you guys, James, Amal, and Jordan, and, of course, me and Jason, we are all from the Moon Lounge. So if you guys are interested I think we have a 14-day free trial. Is that correct?
Yep. Currently 14-day free trial. You can go over to cryptosomniac.com and sign up.
Or you can just join the free lounge, right?
Yeah, if you want to just check it out, if you already got a Discord ID, actually just down below in the comments, or rather in the description, there is a link to the Discord server. You can join for free and check it out right now. So all of us are in there all the time. If you guys enjoy this kind of content and this kind of conversation, this is literally what the Moon Lounge is. Like, this is what we do, guys. So this is just in person and being broadcast, but it's us and a whole bunch of people that are equally as rabid for crypto as us. So we'd love to have you as part of our community. If you guys do want to come on over and join us. We'd love to have you in.
Yeah, for sure. All right.
Sweet. Well, we had a number of other questions in here, guys. Just in the crowd. Sorry, it was more of a conversation than interaction with the crowd as much. But I did see a number of comments in here. People are pumped on this, and they're like, "Are you doing this every day now, or every week?" So we'll try to do it at least once a month, guys. I don't want to make any commitments for everybody else over and above. But I appreciate all you guys making time to do this tonight. I hope this was awesome for everybody out there watching us in internet land. We're certainly grateful for you guys, and let's ride out this crypto winter together.
Yeah. Are we taking any more questions? Because I saw.
Sure. Yeah. We don't have to jump off. I mean, there's a number. There was one in there actually from the Growth Hack specifically about what do you think about, or no, I guess we already sort of touched on that, the Coinbase Index Fund, but he was saying minimum 250K. Minimum 250K investment. So I mean, that's I guess that right there will prevent a large number of people from being able to get in on it.
We had an OTC question as well, which is quite relevant because you'd be surprised how much OTC is moving back and forth. The market might look quite stagnant, but there's so much buying and selling going on behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm. So what does OTC stand for?
Over the counter.
Yeah.
Over the counter. Okay. So what does that mean? Break it down. Dumbify it.
That's just
James,
basically
you
a
want-
large peer-to-peer order, right?
James, you want to take this or should I?
Yeah, well, all right. Well, so you might have large buyers and sellers wanting to load up or offload a BTC, so they can't put it on the exchange because it either can't handle that amount or it's going to push the market which way. So if they want to buy 10,000 BTC at the moment, they'll initially get some at market price, but then they'll start pushing the price up. So by the time they've filled the whole 10,000 BTC order, the price will be pushed up. So it's all about finding a seller for that purchase, and it's all done behind the scenes through OTC desks and mandates.
So is it treated at a discount or a premium?
It totally depends on market conditions, but often there is a discount involved.
Because you're buying such large volumes.
That would make
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
And then there's
All right.
fees.
And we've had this question. We've had this question a bunch of times. Backed. What do you guys think of backed?
Yeah.
Extension token?
Backed the ICE.
Backed.
Uh,
BAKKT?
Yeah, BAKKT. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, I actually think that's a really interesting question. I actually looked through the chat. Yeah, so I guess I don't know if you guys know, but Backed is a federally regulated exchange that they're opening for crypto, and the people who are opening it are the ones who own the New York Stock Exchange, which is ICE, Intercontinental Exchange, not the ICE that are throwing people back.
Not the ones deporting you.
So basically, what they're trying to do is give credibility to the space, and obviously having NYSE, under their umbrella, clearly gives them credibility. However, I think a lot of people are just assuming that they will get passed by the regulatory body in November, which is obviously going to be a big thing. But it remains to be seen, right, if that's going to happen. And also, they don't do margin trading, so it's just going to be like pretty much another exchange
Just
that.
a spot exchange.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I
Actually, you know what? I remember reading something about that a little bit earlier today. But there was something on TradingView I saw that was like there might be hidden leverage or something. I didn't read the article. I just remember seeing that pop up in the little side frame there. I don't know. It's. I bet you if you go on TradingView right now and look in that little side news panel, I bet you if you scroll down a little bit, it's in there because I saw it this afternoon.
Interesting.
Again, I didn't read the article, so I'm just purely spreading rumors at this point.
Cool. So far we just got 6 new users on the free launch. So welcome, guys.
All right, welcome to the community, guys.
Nice. I was gonna follow up something on the OTC question. Actually, if we could go back to that, I had an interesting theory about shorts being positioned in a way where they're about to rip through the all-time highs and potentially so here's how OTC can be really useful. Okay, so obviously we know that orders bought and sold on exchanges are visible, right? They cannot be hidden.
Right.
Okay, someone is going to figure out how much Bitcoin was sold or bought during any given time period. And especially if you have, if you use tensor charts, which James and I do, and I think Jordan might too, you can see exactly at what point during the day how much BTC was bought at what price, and it's really interesting, right? So here's how the OTC could play out. So if I was a really rich whale, and I already had a bunch of short positions stacked, okay? And I know that, I'm going to just keep on opening shorts because I believe that Bitcoin is, going to keep taking a tumble. And, I had some idea that, the August 23rd ETF is going to be denied. I don't know how, but maybe I just have insider trading information. I would load up on a shit ton of coins off the OTC markets, and I would hold a massive sell wall on 6,600, right? Which is what we're facing resistance at right now, right?
Yep.
Every time we hit that point, the demand does not exceed the supply. So you have a bunch of sellers that sell a shit ton of Bitcoin, and that creates an influx in the market, and the demand cannot, surpass that. So the price gets suppressed, and we keep dropping down every time we touch 6,600. But how did all these Bitcoins come about? Well, people didn't see these Bitcoins get bought up on exchanges. So these guys literally bought all this, Bitcoin to just dump on exchanges when the price even starts breaching 6,600. And this is how I think rampant manipulation and fraud works in markets like this. And this is why I still believe that ETFs, at least this year, won't get approved because of shit like this.
Mm-hmm.
Long shot.
I don't know if I should put on my tinfoil hat or run for the hills,
But that's just this year, man. Like, there's still a long way to go. I think people are, massively underestimating the strength and maybe asset fortitude that crypto has. This is a long game, and if you're in it for the long haul, then you shouldn't be fucking worried about the next few months.
Yeah, it's easy to fall. I mean, I guess especially for people that were new in last year, it's really, really easy to be like, what the fuck, man? I last year I made 10 grand in a month and a half for, betting on black. And this year I've lost it all and I keep putting money in the, so it's very easy to just, they saw the instantaneous gains. And of course, we live in the world where these are the reality, right? I can get anything I want sent to me right now in 10 minutes for cheap. Right, like basically from people to food to whatever. Like Amazon will have it at my house in no time, and unfortunately, that's
people,
just the world that
people sent to you.
Sure, why not? Yeah, Tinder exists.
Yeah, Tinder exists, right?
It to you, but you know what I'm saying. Like, you can whatever you want is on demand at the swipe of your fingertips now, and people just come to people expect it and take it for granted, and so. There was a number of projects that did awesome last year. The asset value skyrocketed through the roof. And then, I think people largely underestimate, like they just saw all this money get raised and they don't think about, it takes time to build things, right? Do you remember when the internet sucked? I'm old enough to remember when the internet was terrible. But we would have never known that it's what it is today. And it really wasn't as awesome as it was until the iPhone got invented for real. Like the internet was decent. But as soon as the iPhone got invented and we could all carry it around in our pockets, it was off to the races. So I think there is that is something that a lot of us in the crypto sphere ought to talk about more often instead of just talking about the price tanking and the volatility of the asset. Talk about Rome wasn't built in a day, and it's going to take some time to actually develop these projects into usable, workable systems.
Yeah. I agreed. Are there any other questions?
Let's see.
I think we just have a final opinion question. Does somebody want to pull up a chart and then we can go through our final opinions of where BTC will head in the near future?
All right. Yeah. Just somebody pull up the Bitcoin chart and I'll flip it over.
James already has it pulled up right there.
All right. Then
It's
this is the. Oh yeah, that is BTC USD. It just has the shorts on it.
James, can you hide the shorts real quick?
I'm lagging, so I apologize if my voice is cutting in and out.
Should bet some beers on this or something, guys.
Yeah.
I really want to win this bet.
Yeah, seriously, right?
All right, let me actually really pull up my chart and try to get a good guess in.
I know, huh? Mike, had to look at a real chart.
This is gonna be like the what's that? What was that Bob Barker show? Price is Right.
Yeah.
Like $1 above.
The Showcase Showdown.
I think one Bitcoin is going to be worth 100 million Satoshis.
Safe bet. Safe bet.
Yeah.
All right, I got my chart pulled up too. All right. Okay. Someone should write this shit down because.
Yeah, right. At least we have it
Technically,
recorded.
we'll have it recorded on the channel.
Yeah.
This is live.
True. Shit. Shit. Okay, who wants to go first?
I'm scared.
I know, right?
Oh.
That's
All
Personally,
right. So I think.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'll go first. I think that we're going to continue to head down until around October, and then October we should try to equalize. I think we're going to go as low as around 5,500, even 5,400, and then by the end of September, and then in October, I think we'll pop up. We'll see some huge green candles. We'll see the volume start to pick up. As Q4 starts to start, quarter four starts to really kick into action, and I think as more and more, and this is a philosophical view, as more and more of these countries' currencies collapse, like everything in the news right now is all about the petro.
Yep.
What Venezuela is doing with the petro right now. And as more and more of these, countries collapse and their economic systems collapse, and we're seeing deficit. I think we hit $1 trillion in 6 months of deficit in the United States here.
China's not buying our debt anymore, too. That's another.
No, I mean,
good.
the guy is too orange, and so our orange leader, I don't think it's not his fault, right? This is just basic market movement, and this is not Republican, Democrat. I like to call him my orange leader because he is my orange leader, right?
It's a fair statement.
But I think
an orangutan from Planet of the Apes.
right, exactly. But I think Q4 is going to be really strong, and I wouldn't doubt seeing it, jump up to $10,000 by the end of quarter four. But as for now, I'm setting my buy orders well below 6,000, around 5,500, 5,400. I think Q4 is going to be incredibly strong. This is just my prediction.
So end of the year, as in like December 31st, or just sometime in December, or what?
Just near future. How do you think the market's going to move?
Let's just call it by like New Year's.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Jordan, you want to go?
Yeah, sure. I'll give it a shot. I'd say we barely breached 10,000. I think I'm just looking at the weekly right now, and I was looking at the daily earlier. We're not making higher highs, but we're making better lows. So it's a best of the worst.
We're tightening up. Yeah.
Yeah, we are tightening up, and it looks like our drops are less prolonged, less severe. And I think that this whole ETF decision is going to probably make or break it. We don't get the ETF, I could see us dropping down to around 3,000, 3,100, with a quick rise back up. But end of the year, I'll say I'll shoot for $10,000.
$10,000, yeah, that's exactly my target as well.
Yeah, I would be in the same boat. I'm gonna say I don't know. I think the low is maybe as low as 4,500. I personally think if it goes below 4,500, I don't know what happens after that. But that's my final stop loss. That's my final stop loss until I just sit back and wait for everything else. But I can see it up between 8 and 10 by the end of the year. I mean, just depending on, given the rate that it's taken us to decay down here, but knowing how fast and rapidly it can pump back up, I would say I'll say I'll go with 9,500 by the end of the year.
Well, personally, I don't like to say predictions because of the how the market operates. It's just we're kind of running on news and hope at the moment. So if some big catalyst comes through, it's just going to send us into overdrive. On the short term, I'm just looking at what's going to play out because I predicted we may have we have a short squeeze playing out, or possibly playing out. The shorts are building, or at least some maneuver like a stop loss hunt to create some liquidity, and then we'll start moving up again. And then when if the ETF gets approved, or a ETF soon, we'll just keep moving up. But I see some resistance, say 76 to 7,800. and then we could easily go. The lowest I'm thinking is 4 to 5K, somewhere in that vicinity. By the end of the year, that's a tough one because it's all going to be based on news and what's happening, and if we actually do have a capitulation. We had a degree of capitulation in the last week. Heard a lot of ICO projects were getting rid of their ETH and were quite scared.
Yeah.
And so that was a degree of capitulation. As soon as ETH dropped that much in a day, that was a sign to buy. Now not so much. Now then we need some confirmation, and we'll see what these shorts are going to do. And on that, also we can just see. So I'm a swing trader, and I do a lot of momentum trading. You can see the momentum here, and there's just no confirmation here. So I've got a early signal here that we found the bottom around when ETH dumped. And now we were kind of invalidated here, and just no confirmation yet. We're just going to see what plays out. I remember in February I was saying 20 to 30K by the end of the year, but just not looking like that anymore. And if we break, the 10K is going to be a big one. If we break that, I think we'll move up a little bit more. So
yeah, that's fair to say. I mean, that's what happened last time. It went through 10, and it was at 20 in like a week.
10,000 is a strong psychological level. That is a really strong psychological level. After everyone shared their opinions, I'm the king of metaphors, and I like using metaphors on everything. And I like this metaphor is that, Bitcoin, the entire crypto market has been taking a huge dump the entire year. 2018 has not been a great year for cryptocurrency, but as this whole market is essentially shifted downwards, I think it's only getting stronger. Imagine if Florida wasn't hurricane ready, or California wasn't earthquake ready. What would happen? Everything would collapse. So as we have all these bear markets, we're only building a better and better infrastructure. We're getting better and better, not only infrastructure, but we're getting better and better regulations coming through, right? And as the market matures a little bit, as we start, making sure that there's rebar in the houses and you put plywood over your windows when the hurricane comes, there's less damage over time. There's less volatility over time. So I think this is, obviously no one likes to see this huge bear market, but I think this is good for the overall health of the market.
I'm going to go with my prediction. I'm going to call it $4,600 by the end of the year.
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah.
And the sad thing is, Amal's always right.
I still don't believe the bleeding is done, and I think we're pretty far from it. But I think what Jordan mentioned of the bottoms not being so severe, I think Bitcoin is at least showing some resilience in not breaking that 6,000 hold. And clearly the bulls and, maybe the miners are not letting that price fall through that. But, I think there are a lot more people who want to buy at a cheaper price. And I also don't think that the average retailer sentiment that we had last year is just not alive anymore. And because it's not alive, you don't have new buyers coming into the space. So how the hell do you push a price up? I mean, it's not just going to prop itself up, because traders want to push it up. They have no incentive to push it up right now because the average FOMO retailer is not coming in, right? So they'd rather push it down and short the market. So I am going to say, somewhere around $4,600. And also the reason I say that is because there's a sideways support and resistance levels built in September and August in 2017. You guys can check that out on your own TradingView accounts. But that's what I'm sticking to.
All right. All right. Well, I think that gives us we've hit over the hour at this point. I meant for this to be a little shorty tonight. So, guys, thank you so much for putting in all this time. This is great. Obviously, the crowd liked it. And guys, if everybody who's watching, if you do like it, hugest compliment you guys can give us. Smash a thumbs up, hit share us on Facebook, retweet us on Twitter. Let the world know. Send us, when people want to know where the good crypto info is, send them to us. We'll try to be as honest and upfront and least amount of shilling as possible. So,
There we go.
Yeah. Anybody closing thoughts from anybody else? Anybody else got anything specific?
You can join the free lounge as well if you want to continue this. And we have a 14-day free trial of The Advantage where this is all we talk about. We have reports. We have just constant TA. And, of course, if you'd like a one-on-one with any of these fine gentlemen, Australian James, Jordan with the glasses, and, of course, the Indian guy with the hat is Amal. And, you could definitely book a one-on-one with any of these fine gentlemen down there.
Yep. Oh, sorry, I'm not signed in over here. I was trying to show the Cryptosomniac account, but I'm not signed in. But anyways, guys, go over at cryptosomniac.com, click the little rocket, and you can get into the Moon Lounge. And like I said, if you want to join the Discord server, it's right down below in the description. So we'll see you guys in there. Guys, it's been awesome. We'll schedule another one of these on the books for, I don't know, a few weeks out or something like that. Seems like the crowd likes it, so as long as you guys are game, maybe we'll make this a regular.
When Amal's $3,000 Bitcoin comes alive, right?
All right, everybody. Well, you guys all enjoy the rest of your night, and everybody else, if you want to keep chatting, we'll be in the Moon Lounge. So see you on over there. It's Jason from Cryptosomniac. Keep stop losses tight. See you guys later.
All right. See you guys. Thank you.
Later.
There's.
All right. Wait, you don't have to leave. Okay.
Wait, hold. Still gotta close it. I've never just shut this off without just closing. There we go.